the little volume wasn't on, so it didn't tell me when it started recording. Okay, so this is the last couple of examples, or the last example for Algebra 2-1, Intro to Exponents. And this one has to do with zero exponents. And this is something that you should never get wrong, because you can always plug something into your calculator to the 0 power and see what it gives you. So blah, 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 giant number, doesn't have to be, to the 0 power is always going to be 1. However, it's really easy to confuse this and think that anything to the 0 power will always be 0, which you just need to look at yourself and make a decision. Do I want to get the answer right, or do I want to get the answer wrong? Take the 2 seconds to plug it in your calculator to make sure. So anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Let's actually use a bold color. So let's look at example 4 here. It's comparing two things. 5x parentheses raised to the 0 power and 5x to the 0 power. Just like we talked about in those previous examples, let's start by identifying the base in both of these. So this base for this first one is that entire 5x. Remember, those parentheses tell me that entire piece is being raised to that exponent. In my second piece here, the base is only the x. The 5 is not being raised to that exponent of 0. So if we simplify these, 5x to the 0 power, well, we know that anything to the 0 power is 1. Both of those pieces are being raised to the 0 power, so that whole expression is just equal to 1. Sorry, that whole expression is equal to 1. A little different from what happens over here, because again, the base over here is just the x. So that 5 does not have an exponent of 0. It has an exponent of 1. And the x does have an exponent of 0, which just stays. That 5 to the first power stays 5, and x to the 0 power is 1, because anything raised to the 0 power is 1. And 5 times 1 is simply just 5. So there we go. Big difference there. And again, that big difference is simply because of that, or those parentheses. I'm just going to move this down instead. Okay, there we go. Boom. So just pay attention to those. Be careful on your practice problems.